Thank you guys for checking out my channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to subscribe. So hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification buttons. And you'll be the first to get part 2 of this exclusive video about why I chose Costa Rica to get my upper and lower dental implants. Okay, guys. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I definitely appreciate the support. Share this video, like this video, and also hit the notification bell so you can get in tune for part 2, because you definitely want to stay in tune for part 2. So thank you guys, welcome, and let's get started. So first of all, I want you guys to know, if you ever thought about getting dental implants, I posted this video just to show you the entire process from the beginning to the end. And I also want you to feel comfortable when you choose, whoever you choose to get your dental implants. I also want to start out by saying that this video is my personal thoughts, my opinions. This is not a paid advertisement for any company, but I do want to let you guys know that I will be here with you along the process just to help you guys out in any way I can. So if you need any kind of information about dental implants, feel free to inbox me, feel free to comment, and I will definitely follow up with you. I definitely want to recommend dental implants, especially if it's something you ever thought about and you haven't followed through with it. So I definitely want to recommend it. And I want to just share my personal experience. I repeat, this is not a paid advertisement. These are my opinions, my thoughts, and I just want you guys to come along with the journey. So quick background about me. As a adolescent, I injured my 2 front teeth. The first time I may have been under 10 years old. I fell on a brick wall. I was playing in the yard, and the brick wall, I chipped my front tooth, and it hurt tremendously. I chipped it. It was a permanent tooth, and it was buck. And the second time, not too long after that, I may have been under 12 years old, I chipped my second front tooth, and this caused them both to be buck. Now, as a young man, this definitely was something that affected my esteem. So I can admit I had low self-esteem. So my mother recommended braces, but at my age, braces was not an option. The cool kids didn't have braces. So I thought I was a cool kid, so I didn't want braces. So I just went on with the 2 front teeth that were both, let's say, crooked, broke, buck. But like I say, it played an important part of my life, because what I did was I tried to mask that by keeping my mouth closed when I talk, or when people talked about my teeth, respond in a negative way. Luckily for me, I had a sense of humor, so I would counteract with that humor. And I do apologize to anybody I offended over the years, the many years, by making fun, trying to take the focus off of my own insecurities. So I do apologize for that from the bottom of my heart. But just part of growing up, I had to deal with these issues. It wasn't that bad until later on, my teenage years, when my confidence was really low, because I would talk, I couldn't smile, I didn't take photos. I always was conscious about my teeth, very minimum relationships because of my teeth. Now later on, as I grew into my teenage years, my young adult years, I tried to mask it again with gold teeth. At the time, it's just, I know it seems ridiculous now, but at the time, gold teeth, people were actually wearing gold teeth. So I had gold teeth caps put over the teeth, but they were still crooked. So what I did was try to mask it by having all the front teeth gold, followed up by the bottom teeth, because the bottom were crooked. They never were straight or aligned, so my bottom teeth were crooked. So I would have gold teeth just trying to mask the shape, just to take away the focus off my teeth. So I got away with that for many, many years. But what I did not know, by having those gold teeth, it actually ruined the teeth underneath it, because you couldn't, well, I didn't floss. I didn't take care of the teeth. I just kind of masked the teeth, and I went on with that for many, many years. Later on to find out that it caused problems with the teeth. So when I did decide to get the teeth, the gold teeth removed in my late adult life, it imposed many problems with my teeth, the health. I had to have some surgically removed. I had to have some root canals. And what I did was I wind up having, finally telling the dentist, hey, let's go ahead and remove the front teeth and see if we can put some kind of teeth in place of that to have it straight. So once we removed the gold teeth and we did a treatment plan for that, we came up with a bridge. Now, bridge, if some of you are familiar with a bridge is just something that is basically cemented into your mouth, and it's not your original teeth. It's teeth that the dentists make as well, sort of like dentures, and they're cemented into your mouth, and it takes the place of your teeth. So the dentist removed the teeth, the teeth in the front, and he replaced it with the bridge. And I wasn't totally satisfied with the bridge, and I'll tell you why. The bridge, it looked good. It didn't have all my teeth because they tried to fit them into the space of the teeth. So only I knew one tooth was missing that I had extracted. And the color, I was totally unsatisfied with the color, because what the dentist recommended was not putting bright white teeth into my mouth as I requested, because it would only enhance and show off the not so white teeth, and it would just look odd. So he recommended matching the teeth and making a natural look. But by matching it, the teeth that I had in my mouth were yellow. They were not white, yellow. And when he matched the bridge, it was yellow as well and matched, but I was never satisfied with that. I wasn't never complimented on, hey, you have some beautiful teeth. So I was very disappointed in that procedure. Although it did enhance and make my smile, it gave me more confidence because my teeth were straight now, but just not as white as I wanted. Now, as for the lowers, as I mentioned, they were crooked, and due to the dental extractions, the root canals, they were missing. I was missing teeth because I couldn't afford to save all the teeth and have root canals. So I had them surgically extracted in hopes of later having dental implants. So once that procedure was done, I would have to wear what is called a partial. So having a partial made, I went to a different dentist because I had to have it made quick and less expensive, because the partials were very expensive in the States and the US. Well, not the partial, but the bridge was very expensive. It's just like paying for each single root canal on the bridge, the porcelain crowns. You pay for all that. So that was extremely expensive. And so when I got the partial at the bottom made, they did make them white as I requested, but I see what the dentist was saying, because once they put them in my mouth, you could see all the yellow teeth, and it kind of made it stick out. It was like crooked. You would see the white and you would see the yellow, and nothing was straight just due to the partial. So I was disappointed in that as well. So I just went with that, and I over the years, it's a very, if you're familiar with a partial, it's very annoying, irritating, because you're always trying to eat and food gets under the partial. And of course you can take it out every time you eat and clean it. Or if you're at night, you might not want to sleep with it, clean it. You're always playing with it in your mouth. You're kicking it around, taking it in and out with your tongue. So the partial is just something that's not permanent. And it's like I said, it's very annoying. It's not, and in some instances, when you're eating, especially a hamburger or something, you can bite and the partial will loosen up and come out mid chew while you're eating. Then you got to stop what you're doing, put the partial down, take it out with a napkin. If you're in a restaurant, it's kind of embarrassing because you can't finish chewing. Then you have to clean it, and sometimes you'll continue eating your food without it in your mouth. So that's just a little background on me. So once I got tired of that, I kept putting it off and putting it off. And if you've been in that same situation, you dental implants may come in your mind a lot of times, but because of the cost, you just put it off. You put it off, and you don't know the actual process. But you do. If you do research, you do know it's something that's not immediately done. So I did a lot of research trying to see, could I have it done the same day? How long would I have to wait? And I researched and researched all over the U.S., all over outside of the U.S., and I was looking for something affordable. So I know outside of the U.S. that most countries it is affordable. So I did look, and the first place I looked was Colombia. So I reached out to Colombia, and the doctors were all excited. But the main thing they were trying to do was get me to come to Colombia and relax and enjoy the country. And they told me about this retreat center for dental implants and how relaxing it was, and the massages and the spas. And they never mentioned anything about the treatment, as far as the dental process. It was just all about the retreat, the spa. So I kind of back and forth with them. And I was almost on board until I actually spoke to the doctor, the dentist, on a video conference. And he told me, let me see your mouth. And I opened my mouth, and he started telling me what I didn't need. Not what I wanted or what I was looking for, but what I didn't need. And it sounded like he was just trying to patch up the work that I've been doing. And it's sort of like a merry-go-round when it comes to dentistry, because everybody's telling you how easy it is to patch up things instead of start over or give you the perfect smile that you're looking for. And I didn't understand that because what he was telling me basically was, he was saying we could do a few dental implants, opposed to what I wanted was a upper and lower dental implants. I wanted everything redone. And the dentist was just insisting, no, just come on over and you don't have to have all that work done. And it's as if he was trying to save me money, opposed to getting the results that I was looking for, a perfect smile. So at the last minute, I kind of backed out and was discouraged from that, and just told him, hey, I'm actually looking elsewhere. So I started looking elsewhere. I looked at online. I looked at Turkey. I looked at of course, Dominican Republic. My wife is from Dominican Republic. I frequent there a lot. And that would be the perfect ideal place. So when I went over to the Dominican Republic, of course, they had to do the 3D x-ray. Any dentist you're dealing with, you're going to have to do 3D x-ray. And they done that, but they never followed up. I kept trying to get the results from that, trying to get the treatment plan, but it was just too busy. So I started looking at other dentists in Dominican Republic, and I started reaching out to them, and a lot of them didn't respond as if they were trying to encourage me to come over and have the process done. It was just weird. It's like I didn't get any kind of follow-up or customer service as far as the process, so I didn't feel comfortable with having it done in the Dominican Republic. So I did a lot of research, and I reached out to more and more people in different countries, and it's basically just like an email response of you need what I needed to do far as x-rays and stuff like that. And it's stuff that would be required if you were in that country. So every country that reached back, that came back to me, it was almost like I had to be in that country in order to get a treatment plan, which I understood, but I wanted to know where I stood before traveling to these countries, and what could I do before coming that would assure me that's the right choice I was making. And nobody could put me at ease on that. So I didn't want to spend money traveling, coming to the country, and there was a price. I know everybody's interested in price, and we'll get to that later. They were like, of course, I'm reaching out saying how much, and I've been doing my research. How much do you guys charge? And everybody was the same. It was like everybody's different. It just depends. Once you get here, some of them did say send over your X-rays, and then they could let me know, give me some kind of ballpark. And the ballparks were high. They was almost, I want to say 25% less than in the States, in the US. So I was like, okay, that's still pretty high. And by the time I travel and go through all the hidden costs, maybe I'll be right back to what I would pay in the States. So I reached out to a company in Costa Rica, and this was what wound up being my choice. And I'll explain the process with that as well. So when I reached out to Costa Rica, because I'd done my research, and Costa Rica seemed like the closest place to where I'm at. I'm in the States. Like I say, I'm back and forth to the Dominican Republic, but at the time I was in the States, and I was like, okay, so I'm looking at the map. I'm like, okay, so Costa Rica's not that far from Florida. So, and then, because I usually fly out from the state I'm in to Florida and then go to the Dominican Republic. So I was looking at that as well. I was like, okay, I can fly down to Florida and then fly out, and it's not that far. So when I reached out to the company, to my surprise, I got an immediate response from the company. I mean, immediately. They replied, and the package that I had saw online for what I was looking for, upper and lower dental implants, which is, it could either be all-on-4s, all-on-6, I think all-on-8s. But I was looking at, okay, all-on-4s, let's go with that. And if I need more, then they'll let me know. So we'll go with the low, all-on-4s. And I told them, hey, I'm interested in all-on-4s. I want my upper and lower dental implants. And they responded, and they sent back the package in my email that I saw online. And it said, at this time, we're offering this package. And I responded, and I looked at the package, and what I liked about the package was totally included. So when I saw the package, it was not only the X-rays, the medicines, anything that you needed affiliated with the dental procedure was included in the package, and also the highest quality of the actual implants, the titanium post, and also the zirconium is what you want to look for when it comes to the actual teeth, which is like the best. If you've seen the porcelain veneers, you're familiar with the different types. You want to get the best quality. So it included that as well. And when I was looking at the package, the price for the uppers and the lowers was 50% less than all the prices I had seen, even here in the U.S. And I was like, okay, so that sounds like a great deal. But what it also included was a hotel stay for the time that I was there, the driver to and back and forth to the appointments, like I said, all the medicines, and which will play a huge part when you're talking about your budget, because I didn't know even sedation, you could pay as much as $1,000 an hour to be sedated. So that's included as well. You definitely want to get that. I'll get to that later. And so when I saw that, I saw a deal including airfare, and I was like, hold on. So I was like, hey, airfare as well? So I responded to the email and I said, hey, does this include airmail? And they was like, yes, we'll compensate up to this amount for airfare. So I was like, oh, that sounds, and then there was the subject at the bottom of that said, you can't say no to this offer. So that stuck in my head, and that was a great subject line at the bottom of it because that stayed in my head. I was like, wow, I can't say no. They're right. I can't say no because of I've done my research, and this just sounds great. So um, I started thinking about it, and it's almost like I didn't have time to think. So I responded. I'm like, okay, so uh, they WhatsApp me with the coordinator, with the dentist, and we were in like a group chat, and we were corresponding about everything that was included, which I was trying to be certain on, and they assured me that everything was included, and I had it in my WhatsApp, also in my email because they asked for all my information. And so right away they started looking for me flights because they was asking me my time frame. I was like as soon as possible because I was like it's such a great deal and I've been ready. So I was like as soon as possible, and they was basically like next week I could come in. So they were saying I needed to be there for a week for the first part because there's different parts to it, and we'll get to that later. And for that first part, they sent me an outline of what I would be doing, so I was familiar with that. They sent me the hotel accommodations, which were lovely. We'll get to that later. And they sent me my driver's information, my coordinates information. Everybody's information was there. So I kept doing my research on this particular place. I told them, give me a little time, let me think. But actually, I was online looking at the flights as well because they were sending me flights. But I'm the kind of person that I'm just kind of picky about my airlines. I love American Airlines. That's my favorite airlines. And I was looking at, and the price that they gave me for the flights made sense with the flights they were sending me, but I didn't want to do like two layovers. I didn't want to go with this airline. I wanted to look for a straight flight, and I actually found a straight flight to Costa Rica, which I was surprised, and it was Delta. I really don't like Delta, to be honest with you. I love American Airlines. I just had so many problems with Delta. But Delta was like a little above the amount they gave me, a lot above, almost three times the amount. But I was like, after researching, I definitely was just like a straight flight there. If I'm dealing with my teeth, I don't know the pain. I don't know what's going to happen. I would like to just get there. I don't know if it's going to be a mess when I get there and I just got to come back. So I would love that straight flight. So I corresponded with them. I let them know. And they were like, okay, just let us know the dates so we can have the driver pick you up and we can schedule for your x-rays and your procedure. So I let them know the dates. I booked the flight in. Like I said, it was more than the amount they gave me, but it was well worth it. And once we settled that, they knew the time I was coming in, they knew the day I was coming in, and they responded with what I would be doing when I came in, what they would be doing. So I got my bag. I prepared myself mentally. I didn't do any research. And I want to reiterate this fact: don't do research as far as looking at the process of the actual surgery because all that's going to do is kind of discourage you, and you don't want to be discouraged with it. This is a major surgery, so you don't want to be discouraged. I kept my thoughts to myself. Didn't let everybody know. Sometimes you can't let everybody know. Family members. I didn't let anybody know until the last minute because I didn't want to be discouraged all the way up to that point. And I actually went solo. I went by myself. So the 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 center let me know, hey, if you want to bring somebody along, definitely bring them along. They were going to accommodate them with the room, the flight, but I was like, nah, I don't want to bring anybody. I just want to do it by myself, get it done, over and done with. And so my flight was booked. I did a lot of praying, made sure I was covered, and I got ready to go on this adventure. We'll call it an adventure. So the day, fast forward to the day that I got ready, I flew out to from the state straight to Costa Rica. Now the flight, I was in Georgia at the time, The flight from Georgia to Costa Rica is 4 hours. It's 4 hours, no less, no more. 4 hour flight. So you definitely want to be comfortable on this flight. I had an early morning flight. I think my flight was at 7 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock in the morning. I flew out. I ate light because I didn't know if you could eat. I didn't know that's something that you definitely want to pay attention to. You don't have to have an empty stomach when you get there, so you can eat. And I'm going to recommend that you eat. Eat as much as you can. Eat, 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 because there's going to be times you're not going to be able to eat. So eat as much as you can. Enjoy your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. When you're headed to get this, if you choose to go to Costa Rica and get this process done, you definitely eat. So that morning, I ate light. I didn't know. It's a long flight. Like I say, make sure you're comfortable. If you can upgrade to first class, definitely do it. You'll definitely appreciate it. So once I arrived at Costa Rica. I've never been to Costa Rica. Once I arrived, as soon as when you get through, you have to go through customs. At the time, Costa Rica required you go online and you do a Salud health pass. Make sure you get the QR code because they're going to ask for it. And you got to have your vaccination card. Make sure you have that. And that's pretty much it. Make sure you have the vaccination card and the QR code from the online health forms that you fill out. So when I got to customs, I gave them that. They just asked me usual questions while I was there. I told them for a dental procedure, how long I was going to be there, and they said you can go. Okay, so I left. As soon as I got to come out of Costa Rica, where you come out and they check your bags, my driver called. My driver said, "Hey, where are you?" I said, "I'm just coming out of the screening with the bags." He said, "Okay, I'm standing right outside with a sign." So I walk out. Once you walk out, it's like a sidewalk. There's just one way out, and it goes into a parking garage. And all these drivers are out there with the signs. All the cabs are out. So it's not like you can get lost in the airport and go out the wrong way. It's one way out. And my driver was there, and he was just the friendliest guy you can meet. He spoke English. The coordinator's going to make sure that whether you speak Spanish, English, that you have people on the staff and in the team that speaks English, good English. And he was very familiar with Costa Rica, from Costa Rica, spoke great English, great guy. So we were driving back, and he asked me, he said, so do you want to go back to your hotel, or you want to go straight to the clinic for your x-rays? And I let him know, hey, it was a long flight. I would like to go to my hotel, relax, take a shower, and you just pick me up at a certain time and we'll go for the x-ray. He said, no problem. We can definitely do that, opposed to going straight to the x-ray. So we done that. The driver was outside every single time, whatever the time frame was. If it was 3 p.m., he was out there at 3 p.m. every time. So definitely salute the driver. Excellent driver. So I came out. The hotel, let me tell you about the hotel. The hotel was the great area, perfect area. It was in downtown San Jose in Costa Rica, right in the heart of the country. Very busy. Everything was at my hands. 24-hour restaurant, room service 24 hours. I actually had a casino very close. Also, free breakfast buffet every morning. I mean, anything, egg, sausage, rice, fresh fruit, yogurt, cereal, fresh hot waffles. Oh, I love those waffles at the hotel. Fresh orange juice, coffee, milk, tea, anything you wanted every morning free. And keep in mind, this was a part of my package. This was included. I didn't have to pay anything. The hotel was taken care of. I just gave them my license and they checked me into the room. And the room was for a week. Okay, keep in mind, that's included in the package. So I come out to my driver and everything was close by. We were 15 to 20 minutes away from the center, the clinic. and everything was close by. Costa Rica has American food, Costa Rican food. I even seen a Papa John's pizza, but they have McDonald's, Burger King, KFC. Eat as much as you can before this procedure. I encourage you guys. I implore you guys. As soon as you get there, eat. So we go to the doctor's office. Like I mentioned, it was 15, 20 minutes away. When I first walked in, it was on the east side of the downtown, and very busy area, but not too busy. So it was a very busy area, but I was comfortable there. The clinic was small but nice. And when I got inside, and very secure, when I got inside, the staff was just amazing. They were wonderful. When you get inside, you put your hand up for a temperature check. You immediately go and you wash your hands, disinfect, and you come into the lounge with the staff. The women were wonderful, the staff, the entire staff, wonderful. Hello, smiles, even under the mask. The place blew me away. They actually had a swimming pool in the waiting room. It was a swimming pool. When you walk through the waiting room, there's a swimming pool. I kid you not. Swimming pool in the waiting room. Water, restrooms, everything's just at your disposal. Nice lounge chairs. I finally was called in to meet the doctor, and the doctor was extremely generous, nice. This guy was amazing. So right away, made me feel comfortable to talk to him, even when my teeth weren't fixed. Very comfortable to talk with him. I felt at home. I kicked back, relaxed, and just gave him my life story in 5 minutes or less. Like I'm trying to tell you guys my story in the beginning to here. He got it in less than 5 minutes. And he knew exactly what I wanted. And he reiterated what I said and told me exactly what I wanted. And that's what I loved about this dentist. He listened. If you can get a dentist to listen to what you want, then that's the best feeling in the world, because dentists will recommend and tell you, but when they listen to what you want and they make that happen, that's just a great feeling. So we done what they told me before I came. They would have to have a set of x-rays done, and it would be included in the package. So 3D x-rays, because I kept trying to send the dentist my x-rays, and they was like, they let me know up front, this clinic, they let me know up front. They say, hey, we're going to have to take x-rays when you come anyway, so it doesn't matter if you send them. So that put me at ease, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. So they took me into their lab. We did the 3D x-rays, great machine. I went back into the office after the dentist saw him, and he went over the x-rays with me, and he said exactly what I said. Hey, what we're going to do is the All-On-4, and that's what I asked for. That's what I wanted. He said we're going to do the uppers and the lowers. He let me know I didn't have any infections. They do a bone graft to make sure the implants, that you're a candidate for the implants. He said everything, that looked fine. And he let me know right away, hey, we're going to start your process tomorrow. We'll have your actual surgery. And I was blown away, like, tomorrow? And it's like, yeah. He said, you're going to be our first patient in the morning when we open. We open at 8 a.m. Your driver will be outside at 7:30 a.m. So I was like, oh, wow. So I didn't even have time to think or comprehend. So I asked a few questions. I said, hey, can I eat? He said, you can eat up until 10 p.m. So he was like, don't drink anything. Don't chew any gum. 10 p.m. That's your cutoff. So I was like, oh, I better get back to my room because I got some eating to do. It was in the middle of the day. I got to get me some eating. So he said, and he explained the process. He said what they were going to do. They showed me a live video. They take a camera, put in your mouth of my teeth. And they showed me a live video of the teeth and what was going on and how it would, just to comfort me of how it would replace what was going on in my mouth. And I was excited, and I had never left or talked to a dentist and left out of the office. I was excited. It was almost like I had new teeth. I was just so excited when I left out of the office after talking with the dentist. That was amazing. I just had a new feeling that came over me, like, oh, I was excited. So, driver took me back to my hotel. Of course, I let him know, hey, I'll see you in the morning. I'm ready to go eat because I was starving. Still hadn't really eaten, so I went and got the biggest hamburger I could get, and just enjoyed that hamburger like it was my best meal, like it was my last meal. And later on that night before 10, around 9, I went and got this salmon. Oh, it's the best salmon. Costa Rica has the best salmon I ever tasted in my life. It was it was just delicious. So I had the salmon, and then at 10, it was like a nightmare. I couldn't eat anymore. Couldn't drink nothing. My mouth gets dry at night. So I wasn't worried that night. I was just up all night, like trying to keep from drinking something or eating something. So lucky for me, like I mentioned, I was close to a casino. I played around at the casino until I got tired. Um, Soaked in the tub, did it all just to kill time. Until I finally went to sleep, and my driver was calling me the next morning. Hey, 7:30, I'm outside. Excuse me. I'm like, excuse me. I'm on my way down. So I jump into the cab, and we're headed to the clinic. Arrive at the clinic. Everybody's ready. It's like you walk into this room, and it's like, ooh, ah, everybody's like, doctor here, doctor here. And the dentist introduced me to the anesthesiologist, the person that was going to put me to sleep, because he did ask, did I want to be put to sleep? And of course, I want to be put to sleep for this surgery. You definitely want to do that. There's no way in the world you're going to have this surgery without being put to sleep. So he introduced me to her. She spoke little English, but he said she was the best in the country. So he may have said the world, but I trusted her. He said, if you got any question, I'll translate from Spanish to English. But I was like, I'm ready. Put me out. So I'm ready. So they explained everything, and that's what I like before they do it. He explained what they were going to do. She hooked up these things to my chest, hooked up a thing to my hand. She ran an IV right here to run the medicine in to put me to sleep because she couldn't find a vein here that she wanted. And it was a prick. It didn't hurt at all. She ran it, and it didn't hurt at all. And what I done was I just kept positive thoughts. I stayed away from anybody. I didn't really talk to anybody. I just kept positive thoughts. I didn't look at her, the doctors. It was like 4 doctors in the room, including her. And I just kept my mind focused on my beautiful wife. And I had my phone, and that's the only thing I had was my license and my phone. That was it. I didn't carry anything on me, nothing, no bag, no cash, no jewelry, nothing. So I had my license and my phone, and I had good thoughts in my head, and they were telling me, you're gonna be out in a couple of minutes, in a few seconds, really. So I was like, wow, is that quick? Once they had me hooked up. So I told the doctor, I'm gonna hand you my phone, which I had my wife's beautiful photo on my phone. It's the last person I want to see before I go to sleep. So I handed him my phone. I closed my eyes, and I just started thinking about her coming down the ocean when we got married. And before she could even walk to me, they were waking me up saying the procedure was done. Amazing. That quick. I did not feel one single thing. I did not feel anything. They were waking me up. Now, when they woke me up, I remember my driver asked me, was I okay? And I was like, yeah. And he said, can you get up? I said, yeah. I got up, and they put me in a wheelchair. The wheelchair was next to me. I sat in the wheelchair, and I said, can I get my phone? And they handed my phone. I saw my beautiful wife, and I started WhatsApping and just to be happy that I'm okay. And I saw myself, and they had ice packs wrapped around my face for the swelling, ice packs. And I saw myself, and I was like, wow, they've already done it. That's amazing. I couldn't believe it. They had already done it. And I couldn't talk, my mouth was closed. I couldn't talk, and I think I was doing like hearts to the wife, letting her know that I was okay in sign language. And I made a few more calls, my family, friends, and I was just sitting there, and all my medication was in my lap. All my medication they had gave me, everything was written out in English, what to take, when to take, how to take. And my driver was like, "You okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay." And then we're gonna get you back to the hotel to relax. And he took me back to the hotel. I got to the hotel and I relaxed, and I was just blown away. I, I actually was blown away with this process of how easy it was. So I'm at my hotel relaxing, and I start getting the text from the doctors: "Are you okay? If you need anything, um, and we definitely want you to follow up with us because we want to see you, make sure everything is healing, make sure there's no infection. So we'll see you again the next day." 2 days later, they was telling me what not to do, what not to drink. Stay on a no straws, don't use any straws. Stay on a soft food diet. Anything you can pinch with your fingers, make sure it's soft, and just no hot foods. You couldn't do any hot food. Everything had to be cold, and just don't bite anything. No spitting. Didn't want to be spitting. So I'm writing all this stuff down by my room to keep it, around my room to remind me. So this is a great reminder, because to spit or to straw is just some things you might forget, or even hot foods, because you would think soup, but you wouldn't think cold soup. So I kept this in mind. So when I that day, the only thing I could eat was some, because I was hungry, was some mashed potatoes. I had ordered the chef. I had the chef to make me some mashed potatoes, so I ate those. And they said no spicy food, and I actually put black pepper on it. I forgot that quick, so I was wondering why. Later on hindsight, why I wanted those mashed potatoes. It was affecting my gums. It's probably because of the black pepper. But that was the only thing I could really eat, and I had some. I had the mashed potatoes, and then soup. I did do some soup. I let the soup get cold, and I ate some soup. So the next morning, I had some scrambled eggs. Let them get cold, and went back to the doctor. Or the morning after, it might be the next 2 days. Went back to the doctor. Doctor, everybody was still nice, very nice. And when I went into the doctor's office, he looked in my mouth, made sure no infections, made sure everything was okay. He removed the stitches. There are stitches. So where they put all the implants, it's stitching. So he didn't really hurt. He clipped the stitches. It didn't really hurt. He clipped them. But whatever medication or whatever they put in your mouth, I think that kind of affected the gums and made it start hurting. And he put temporary teeth in my mouth, like a wax type buildup that they made temporary. He put them in there, and he said the next day I would come back in. They would have teeth made for me. So when I looked at the temporaries, I was like, okay, I don't like the bottom had like a gap in them. I thought those were my prosthetics or whatever. I wasn't sure. And I explained, and he said, okay, so however the teeth you want your actual teeth made, we can make them bigger, smaller, pointed, square, round, however you want them. And I said, okay, so I didn't like the gaps. I said, I want that as straight as it can get. And they were trying to get it with my bite. But keep in mind, I think these were just the wax teeth, just temporary. So I don't think they were the actual, it would be the actual size of I wasn't sure. So I said, hey, and they're not as white as I want them to be. So they was like, okay, we can get them whiter. So we got that understood. And the dentist agreed, yeah, that doesn't look good. I don't like that gap either. He agreed. He didn't try to say, oh, well, and sugarcoat it. He agreed as well. So what he done was he made notes of that and said we would have the next set made the way that you're saying. And I was looking, I was like, okay, I'm fine with the top, but the bottom I want them a little straight, and I want the whole teeth just as white as they can be. I want a Hollywood smile, celebrity smile. And so he understood. He understood the assignment. He knew exactly what I wanted because I kept um, I kept telling him what I wanted, and he was listening. So the next day I came in. They took the wax teeth, the first set out, and he put the second set in. And when he put those in, uh, and I looked at him, and he said, "Keep in mind, these aren't the actual teeth. We're going to make the teeth. You're going to come back for the teeth. These are your prosthetics you'll have something to go back home with, and you can eat on them. Just don't eat anything like a corn on the cob, candy apple, steak, anything, a chicken bone, or nothing crazy. But these will last you until you come back." So I looked at him and I said, "Okay." And he said, "Now they're not going to be exactly like that. They're going to be way better. They're going to look better. They're going to be whiter, as white as they can get. And these are just like basically temporary. So they're just sitting there." So I had to get in my mind, okay, so those aren't the teeth. They're going to be similar to the teeth. So whatever system they have to make the perfect teeth, they're just like the training wheels. They're just guiding them until they make those to put in there, put the actual teeth in. So I was like, if I'm comfortable with those, I'll definitely be comfortable with something better, permanent. So he put them in. So when they put those in, they glue them. I looked online. I see some people, they screw them in, which I would have preferred, but I guess this process will help the gums heal better. I don't know. I absolutely don't know on that. And I'll ask the doctor. But they glued them, and they take this light. It's like a blue light, this bright light that seals them, and it seals the prosthetics in. So I asked the doctor because I'm familiar. I've been through so many teeth being glued in for us with partials or even crowns cemented, and they come loose. If your teeth are crooked, if you eat a lot, they come loose. They just absolutely come loose. So I asked him. He said, "No, this will be glued in. You won't have to worry about it. They're not going to come out. I would actually have to chisel them out, break them out." So I felt comfortable. I was okay. But at the same time, I was like, what goes up must come down. So in my mind and from my prior experience, I was like, they probably gonna come out. So lucky for me, I was already prepared for that because the next day, um, I was eating some nachos. I was just like, okay, if I'm gonna be here for a couple more days, I'm gonna eat something. And if they come loose, at least I'm here. He can glue them back in. And of course, mid chew, they came loose. The bottom came loose. I'm surprised because I thought it would have been the top. The bottom came loose. I called the dentist. Hey, my bottom teeth came loose. They said, hey, we'll see you in a couple of hours. The dentist, you have an appointment. The dentist will take care of that right away. My driver was there. A couple hours later, I went in. The dentist used he did a little fine tuning of the teeth, I guess, to get the old glue out. He did some more better whatever's to secure the teeth, put the light in, glued the teeth, and they were bonded. They were bonded once again. They were bonded. So I felt a little better, not 99.9% better, but about 85% better chance that they weren't gonna come out. So I said I'll just be careful what I eat because 4 months for the second part treatment to this, it's going to be quite a while. So I'll be a little bit, no more nachos, and I'll just eat soft food. I'll be more careful. Um, and the dentist was just like, okay, so we'll see you in 4 months. So this entire process, like I said, it's a package that I got. And what I did was I let the dentist know that I wanted upper and lower for um, all-on-4 implants, and I let them know my budget, and I let them know uh, I would love to have everything included, which is the rooms, the medicine, no hidden charges, even the meals. The meals I paid for lunch, dinner, but breakfast was included every morning. And I let them know, I want even the flight, even though I upgraded the flight. But they gave me a good, if you guys don't want to worry about upgrading, then you're fine with the cost of that as well. And like I mentioned, it's like I said, it's 50% less than what you would pay in the States. So whatever you're paying for uppers, lowers in the U.S., it's going to be half of that in Costa Rica. If you're interested, please inbox me. All I need is your name and number. I'll get this fantastic team to get in touch with you, and they'll go over the price. Let them know your budget. They'll go over the prices. They'll also, if you want something less done than that, they can do it all the way from laser teeth whitening to single dental implant. You just let them know, because I'm going to definitely recommend them. Inbox me, comment, and I definitely will reach out to this team and let them know that you're interested in this procedure. And stay tuned for part 2, because these are the prosthetics. This is what they send you home with in part 1. Let me show you up close. That's what they send you home with in part 1. Part 1. So stay tuned for part 2, because we're going to have the actual teeth. Once they screw these teeth into my actual implants and they're into my gums permanently, you definitely want to see the outcome. So like the video, subscribe. You got to hit the notification button, because you want to see part 2 to this exclusive video. And I highly recommend this company, because if you have any questions about this company, I'm going back in 4 months. It'll be late July. If you want to come along for this process, if you want to start your journey with me, I have no problem with giving you the information, letting you know, because I'll be there to get my final. We may be sitting in the same doctor's visit in the same office at the same time. So I have no problem with answering any questions, letting you guys know, because I just feel like it's self-care, and we put it off so much. We put so many people in front of our needs, and it's just, I'm all about self-care. So when you're taking care of yourself, it's just a blessing. I was blessed to be able to do this, so I definitely want to recommend it to you. Like I say, hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment. I hope you like the video. And if there's anything you want to talk about, inbox me. I have no problem with that. But if you're looking for this, I definitely recommend this center in Costa Rica. And I haven't even got to part 2. I haven't even seen the final product. And I'm letting you know I recommend it now just for the procedure. If there's anything I left out you want to know, feel free to reach out to me, inbox me. I definitely support you guys, and thank you guys for supporting me. And I would love if you share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and you'll be ready for part 2. And in 4 months, if you want to come down to Costa Rica with me, let me know. I have no problem with that. I'll be glad to show you guys how easy it is, how it's actually exciting, and it's just life-changing. I'm looking for what I call a $1 million celebrity smile. So it even makes you have all the confidence in the world, and these aren't even mine. They feel just like they're mine. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate the love. I salute everybody. Stay tuned for part 2. You gotta subscribe in order to see it, though. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you there.